This is the north entrance to Schurz Park along what used to be known as the East River Drive. You can probably read from the bridge, now known as the FDR. We climb up a little hill here past Gracie Mansion, and we're there. This is Hellgate, which actually once earned that name. It's where on the right the East River turns out toward Long Island Sound and LaGuardia Airport, and on the left it splits off into the Harlem River and goes up to the tip of Manhattan to meet Spite and Dieville. It goes over to the Hudson River. And out here is the little island known as Hellgate Island, but this was a much more dangerous place at one time before they blew up oyster beds and some other things beneath the water, cut back on the rapids that come here during the currents and the tides. Popular place for summer sunbathing, and pretty much the backyard and the gardens behind Gracie. One of the many winding trails through the park, lots of shade, benches, and local people. Very few tourists come up this way. Still up near the north end of the park now on a weekday when it's not as crowded. People are, except for me, are at work. And across the East River, you can see the tip of Roosevelt Island with Lighthouse Park and Hallett's Cove, Queens. And a strange-looking building on the skyline in Queens is a new construction of an apartment building in Queens, which sits in the middle of a low-level old industrial area. It's kind of an odd spot, but we'll see what the ads say when it comes up. This is another look up into Hellgate from Schurz Park. And the bridge you're looking at is what was known as the Triborough Bridge is now called the Robert F. Kennedy Bridge. Beyond it, if you can see a bridge that arcs and has almost a reddish color, is the Hellgate Bridge that is an Amtrak bridge going over the East River. It heads out into Long Island. This is about as clear a look as you can get these days at Gracie Mansion. Unless you're invited to a party, this is in Schurz Park and is the official home of New York City's mayor, which means it was the former home of people like Ed Koch, Rudy Giuliani, who fled in his many efforts to cheat on his wife and then left her here when he moved in with his girlfriend, and also the home of well, not actually the home of Michael Bloomberg, because he has a much nicer place of his own further down on the Upper East Side. But anyway, Ed Koch, John Lindsay, Dave Dinkins, mayors that were fairly well known because New York's kind of these say the people hear news about it if they hear about it, you know. So this is the place. One of the bridges in the park over a little ravine probably had water running at one time the way the rocks are cut, but not now. It's been filled in and probably goes directly into the East River through piping now, but for the moment it's a little lane, quiet, stuck inside some rocks with benches, and again on a weekday great place to go because without the local residents it's very lightly populated and there's a lot of places to hang out and bench to sit on and just sit and enjoy yourself and enjoy Manhattan that most people don't see. And this is just a gorgeous view of climbing up the steps out of one of the ravines in the Schurz Park. And a look at the clouds coasting in out of the north, and hopefully bring us cooler weather. As we walk by one of the nicer flower beds in the park, and a green space ahead that's pretty packed full of sunbathers on a very hot but very clear day in Manhattan. A good time to work on a tan, I guess, which I'm probably doing quite by accident at the moment. This would be a more sweeping view of the East River from the park. The bridge you see in the distance is the Queensboro 59th Street Bridge, is known from Paul Simon's song, I guess it's Where You're From, is what decides what you're going to call it, but most it's known as the Queensboro Bridge these days. And then the apartments along the shore of Roosevelt Island heading north. Roosevelt Island is named after Franklin Delano Roosevelt. It's about 2 miles long. And this you see on the north end. The last building you see here is one of the rehab hospitals, part of New York City Health and Hospitals Corporation, known as Bert Kohler, named after an obscure Brooklyn politician who just happened to be in the right place in time to pull his name on a hospital, I guess. Then up to Lighthouse Park. It's a great place to picnic. It's very crowded on holidays and weekends. Hallett's Cove in Queens. Public housing project along the water. Goodwill's headquarters for New York in the far distance. And then the Queensboro Bridge again, as it goes over the East River in the section that heads out toward Long Island Sound. And then Hellgate itself. Not much of a Hellgate these days. Sometimes when the rapids are there, boats do have a little bit of a problem. And about 10 years ago, there was an issue where one of the boats coming up the island crashed into Roosevelt Island. A tug lost control of a barge, and seawall had to be repaired.